What's going on, guys? So it is another day. It's been 2 or 3 days now, but we got something in as for parts, so check it out. This is the entire engine management for the WRX. So we got Haltech IC7 digital dash here. We have the ECU itself. I'm gonna run the Haltech Rebel LS. So this ECU comes with everything except for the dash that I have to buy separate, but it comes with the complete terminated wiring harness, all the breakout connectors for injectors and all that. It's got a built-in wideband, basically everything you need except for the battery cables that go to it. So super excited to have this. I've always wanted a car with a Haltech and something with a cool standalone dash, so super awesome that now I'm able to do that. Obviously I'm missing a few things engine wise on here. Close this door. I definitely need accessories, starters. I have all my sensors, but I'm working on something for that right now. So for now, just to keep me motivated and going, I would really like to see a dash light up in this thing. I'm still waiting for the dash mount itself to come, but we could still put the dash in there. So I've got pretty much everything ran. I'm gonna throw the ECU in there, put the battery cables on it, wire it to the ignition switch and plug in the dash and run that wire just so I can see it all light up. It's also dark out, it's after work, but I do want to see this thing light up. So let's go ahead and bolt the dash in there, or the ECU in there, and hook up those cables. Alrighty, there's not a ton of light in here, so hopefully it comes out okay. Got these rubber isolators started on here. So in theory, I should be able to slide this up into here. Let me set the camera down real quick. Excuse my shoes, it snowed and they're really squeaky. I'll make sure these are all loose and not compressing. And should slide in there. Last one here. There we go. And we tighten these up. So the way that these isolators work is the threaded part is all the way at the bottom. So as it compresses, it bulges out the rubber, and that's what holds it on there. So we're just gonna snug them up. Don't need to go crazy tight because the rubber holds it once it's just barely tight, really, but we don't want it moving a ton. So we'll just go till they're snug. Go. And that should, yep, they're nice and bulged out there. See if I can show you guys. Maybe. Kind of see how it bulges out there, but that is how that holds in. So now we just gotta throw battery lugs on these two, connect them to there, and we'll move on to the next part. Alright, so I got both of those wires loomed up and connected there. They just bolt on underneath these little covers. kind of hard to peel back, but you get the gist of it. It's in there. So now, next thing we need to do, the harness here. This is the inside of it, so we need to plug in the ECU connectors here, and then this pink wire goes to ignition, I believe. Yes, ignition switch. So this needs to go to the green wire coming from the ignition switch. It's a big green wire, and that is a wire that has power while cranking as well as in the run position, so that when you go to crank it, the ECU is not going to lose power momentarily. This one will go back to the fuel pump. I'm not going to do that tonight though, because it's starting to get real cold. And then this one goes to the gas pedal, so that will go to this, but I need to cut the connector off and use this one because I'm not going to use a Corvette pedal. So that is all the stuff so far that I need to do. So we're going to plug that in and get it kind of laid out the way it needs to be in there, and splice this wire in real quick, and then we'll connect the dash and all that stuff. So let's get it done. Alrighty, we're getting pretty close here. Got those 3 connectors plugged in. It's kind of a pain, but got the harness routed through the hole there. Need to slide the grommet into place there, but that's not staying anyway because it needs to be pulled back through to paint the engine bay. But all this is in here. Looks like an absolute mess, but we're not messing with that right now anyway. So I got the off of this lead, there's a CAN connector. Ran that up there. That's all the extra wire just bunched up. Right here to the gauges. And then that's the old gauge wire that we need to splice into. And then the dash will go there. And I need to zip tie this all up. But here's the inputs and outputs and the ignition wire. So next is to connect this real quick. Alrighty, what's up guys? So it has been a little while here. It got freezing cold and I just was not, I was trying to hurry up and not film. So got this thing all wired up. The Haltech is in. So let me show you guys real quick. So let me turn on the battery real quick. Flip that guy. We got brake lights. I did get the fuel wire is hooked up, but I unplugged that because I don't have fuel lines in there right now. They should be here hopefully this week. So that would just spray everywhere, and I found that out the hard way. So yeah, check this out. So dash lights up. Of course I got some super glare right here. There you go. Yeah, so dash is all lit up. I got that all configured with all the sensors that I want to be able to monitor and everything. So that's all set up. Plugs right here. I need to find a spot to like actually put it. I got the Mako Motorsports dash mount, so that's how that looks all nice. Hoping to get this dash bolted back in probably this weekend. But all the wiring under there, wired in the fuel gauge to the dash and whatever else I had to. ECU is all on right there. Everything's hooked up. I got the Wi-Fi set up, which is super cool because I can tune it from my phone if I need to on the fly, or I haven't tried it yet, but when I put my radio in, I have the iDoing radio, so it does like apps and stuff, so I'm hoping that I can actually connect to it from that, and then I could like monitor stuff on my radio, which would be sick. But anyway, wideband sensor, obviously don't have exhaust yet, so that's not hooked up, as well as the fan and the starter. But I do have fuel pressure sensor, sits right here. I need to get a little mount that to the back of the head. But down here, fuel pressure regulator's on. It's kind of hard to see, but that runs down and back to the fuel pressure sensor. I need to give it vacuum/boost reference. I got everything here to make my lines. Bunch of cool stuff. I actually partnered up with ICT Billet, which is super cool. I'm super glad to have them as a partner on this build, and I'm stoked. They're stoked. And they sent me a bunch of stuff, and we made a ton of progress on this thing. So sadly I wasn't filming because it was freezing and I was just trying to get stuff done, but I'll run you over what we did. So ICT sent me out, they make fittings. So we got some ORB fittings for the fuel rails. Like I said, the fuel lines are on their way, so that should hopefully be going together soon. They sent me their LSA manual belt tensioner here. Belt should be here in 2 days. We got, maybe see if I can show you down here, the bracket to mount the Sandin SD7 AC compressor. The car's not going to have AC inside, but it is going to be running an inner chiller, and so with this thing we're going to get super low intake air temp sensor, not sensors, but intake air temps, and the coolant going into the blower should be super, super cold, especially because we're not running it through the car itself, so should be super beneficial. Also got power steering mount from ICT, as well as alternator mount from ICT. So basically we have all our accessories done now, and I can start slapping some belts on this thing and figuring out a pulley size here. But some super cool stuff from them. We also got coil pack mounts from them. I need to buy some coils. And we got coil wires from ICT as well. So we're gonna put all that stuff on soon. But a bunch of different random things. Let's see what else. Obviously I got all the wiring harnesses ran. So these are ready for injectors that I'm gonna buy here soon. Super pricey, so I've been holding off on those, but I'm to the point where I can almost put some fuel pressure in this thing, so I figured I should probably think about buying them now. So fuel harnesses ran. I'm honestly super excited with how this harness got ran. If you guys know Camco Callis, he's also here in Denver, so he was super cool. Shout out to him, and let me come check out his E30 build, which is super sick. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put a picture up here on the screen of it. But super clean. He also is running the Rebel LS, so I had him run me through how he ran the harness super cleanly. And obviously our builds are a little bit different. He's got ITBs and stuff, so slightly different, but he gave me some good ideas, and I think I got it ran super cleanly. These are going to be for the coil packs, which are going to be, I'm thinking right about here underneath the header, and then we'll run all the wires, and then the harness is going to run back there and get heat wrapped, protected, so that nothing melts. But yeah, map sensor harness runs under here. That's the only really wires you see is this one. You can kind of see this little cylinder head ground there. This is the throttle body wire, which, I mean, it'll get tucked back a little bit farther, so you really won't see that. And then you can see these few right here, the coolant temp sensor wire, you see a tiny bit of right there. Alternator wire runs back there. Again with the coil pack harness here. And then behind here, obviously I need to clean some stuff up because it's not final, but a lot of stuff is kind of hidden back there. And from right here, which, I mean, we're gonna have clutch master, brake cylinder, you're really not gonna see pretty much any of the harness. So I'm super happy, because the way I envisioned this build, I always wanted the car to not really look like it ran. So once all these wires are hidden, I mean, there will be a few things here and there mounted that obviously will show that it kind of runs. Catch can is probably going to sit like right here off the side of the tub, and then I'll have the supercharger coolant reservoir probably next to it or somewhere on the firewall maybe. But basically these areas should be pretty open. And then tucked radiator. I got pretty much any freedom to mount it wherever I want now. So tucked radiator, hopefully you shouldn't see much of that. So this thing is going to be super clean here with the tubs and everything. So it looks super cool. I am stoked on how it came out, and super excited to get this thing started soon. All we need now, we need a clutch and a flywheel, which they come together because it's a twin disc. So we need that, belts, which I said are already on the way, I need to get a throttle body, like I said, injectors. I've got fuel lines on the way. I do need to buy a fuel filter, ethanol sensor, and the ethanol sensor mount. I need to put oil in it. We need to build headers. Get a starter for it. And yeah, that's most of it. My boss was kind enough to let me borrow the T56 out of his GTO for a test fitment. So we're going to slap that in this weekend because it's supposed to be like in the 50s. So it should be decently nice outside that we can get some work done in here. So we'll slap that in underneath. You guys can see I got the bell housing on it right now, and that'll give me my engine pitch. So I'll know exactly how much I need to cut, if I need to cut a little bit right here or whatnot. So super excited for that. Rear subframe is at powder coat as well as a trans cross member right now. So hopefully I'm supposed to get those back Friday or Saturday so that we can test fit that this weekend. So I'm gonna get the rear subframe bolted back in. I'm working with some companies hopefully on some suspension arms and stuff for the rear. Front suspension's pretty much ready to go in. There's not really any reason to have it in there right now. The goal really is probably get the engine fired, or not get the engine fired, but get it ready or really close so that all I really need is headers. And then I'm going to try and focus on suspension, get wheels on this thing, get a tank and compressor back in it, just to get some air in it, tow it to my job and have them fabricate the headers and probably just do the exhaust all at the same time. Once that's good, we'll fire it. Once everything runs and we know it runs good, let's see, I'm gonna buy a differential kit. I've been doing some research on one and I think that's gonna be the way to go. So I'm gonna do that, get the differential kit for it. It'll get wrapped, and then I probably might just try to buy this transmission off my boss if he'll let me. But end of the day, yeah, that's the plan. Once it fires, obviously I'll rip this out and finish all this body work and paint the engine bay so it looks super good. But yeah, this thing is really starting to come together. Super excited, and I definitely think, obviously with it being January, I mean it's pretty much February at this point, I'm hoping it should start up by, I don't know, beginning of summer, midsummer at least. So then we prep a bunch of stuff, and I'm hoping to make it to LS Fest East. Would be a big goal to get this car there. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Keep track of the build here. Follow my Instagram at @TooLowTony and check it out there. I post more often on there than I do here. Just a lot more work to do the YouTube stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later.